everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, there's a Patreon account. Click it, you can become a member. You can recommend movies and music for me to review. Now, with that being said, I have a question. What's that question? I got a question. Now, somebody posed this question, and I think I am a very good source in order to answer this question. Is the Godzilla fandom toxic? Now, this is a very rocky road that we're probably going to walk on, so go ahead and tread softly, homie. But anyway, to the point, is the Godzilla fandom toxic? It's not an easy question to answer. It's a very slippery slope, per se. So the answer is yes and no, and it depends, right? Most fandoms are toxic. Let's keep it a buck. If you're just hell on allegiance to anything, then you're probably going to be a toxic ass person to deal with. But usually outside of that realm, you're going to probably be a little less toxic, right? So in regards to Godzilla fandom, I feel like the legendary Godzilla fan base is a little bit more toxic than the old school Godzilla fan base. In my interactions with people within the community, I noticed that with the older films, when you're discussing them, more people are more susceptible to people's opinions. So if you say, yo, I like Godzilla 85, and the people were like, okay, I could dig that. I wasn't really a fan of it, but that's okay. Oh, I didn't like Godzilla versus Biollante. Okay, well, I mean, that's your opinion. That's cool. All right, we can deal with that, right? Those are usually the ones that I see a lot of, right? Or somebody will say, oh, yo, I didn't like Shin Godzilla. It was boring. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I could deal with that. That's cool. But once you get to legendary, once you get to the legendary universe, that's when things get a little bit different. Me personally, I like Godzilla 2014, right? A lot of people didn't like Godzilla 2014, but I liked Godzilla 2014. That automatically gets met with a little bit of like hostility, right? But not too much, not in the fandom, just a little bit, you know? Now, this is where things get very interesting. When I say I don't like Godzilla King of the Monsters, all hell breaks loose. Nobody can understand and fathom the reasons why I don't like this movie. People can go bananas because you just don't like this movie. And I have real logical reasons why I don't like the movie. I tell them, the panaways. I was promised fight scenes in this movie, and they panned away during the most intense and interesting moments. You also had human characters who were not very interesting. Legendary also has a freaking habit of killing off the interesting characters. You get what I'm saying? So, sorry, I had to belch. Anyway, Legendary has this really bad habit of killing off interesting characters. So, also, I didn't like the way that they incorporated Burning Godzilla into this film. It felt like they were trying to give out too much fan service and made a really, like, just a congested film. It didn't feel, it was dope because of the homages and the throwbacks and the callbacks and all that cool shit. But outside of that, it was like whatever, right? It wasn't that great of a movie, you know? So Ghidorah was dope, and I feel like they wasted Ghidorah on a fucking mediocre film, right? But I can't say this to the community because they get mad. They harass me. They talk shit about you. They get mad, and they bug you about it. And they try to call you dumb or stupid and just try to question your allegiance to Godzilla. Bro, I watch movies, and I'm going to tell you the truth if it's bad or if it's not. Why does it matter if you think it's dope and I don't? If I say it's whack and I give you real good reasons why I think it's whack, then that's my opinion. But if you can't respect it, then that's when we have a problem. And that's when the toxicity in the fan base comes, right? I remember when Godzilla vs. Kong was first announced. Now, I see it a little bit less, but at the beginning, this shit was crazy. When Godzilla vs. Kong was first announced, people were really authentically arguing and talking mad shit to each other over a freaking movie. Now, if we keeping it a buck and being logical here, like in the realm of realisticness, nobody's going to really lose in this movie. Nobody's really going to die in this movie. They're going to leave it up to the audience. But definitely there will be a team up, and they're going to team up together and fight somebody else. Neither monster is going to die in this movie. And on top of that, Toho is not going to allow Legendary to let their monster get his ass beat and defeated by an American monster, especially if they ever want the rights to this man ever again. So that's keeping it logic, right? So I don't understand why people are sitting there really like fighting. Like it's fun if you just are doing it just for like, homie purposes, like me and the homie Jody do. We do that shit on some homie shit. But people are legitly arguing, getting pissed off, getting triggered, veins pulsating out of the side of their forehead over arguing with somebody over a hypothetical movie. And depending on the outcome of this movie is going to depend on how real toxic we're going to see. The toxicity of this fan base will be really exposed at the end of this movie, because if Godzilla loses, I guarantee you all hell is going to break loose. Now, me personally, I don't want Godzilla to lose. I think Godzilla's going to win this hand down, right? But again, it's just a movie. But I'm not going to sit here and riot and burn shit down and flip over tables and shit. I remember when I said that King of the Monsters was garbage, and I didn't like it. Now, I wouldn't say it was garbage, but it was whack. So I said it was whack, and I didn't like it. And then somebody, forget you stupid Godzilla no fan loser. I'm like, yo, like, chill. Like, it's not really that serious. It's just a freaking movie. Like, calm down. Nah, man. Dude was literally trying to argue with me and PM me and all kind of crazy shit. And I'm like, dude, like, get out of my inbox, But I think the legendary MonsterVerse fans are the more toxic portion of the Godzilla fan base. The Godzilla fan base isn't overrun with toxic people like the Snyder fan base. The Snyder fan base is toxic as shit. All right. But like the Godzilla fan base is nowhere near that. It's just, most of it is just fun debates, but there is a portion of it that takes the shit too serious, right? And that's just me keeping it in Milwaukee, bucking this thing. So the answer to my question is simple. Is a Godzilla fan base toxic? The legendary fan base is toxic to a degree. It has the most toxic fan base out of the Godzilla community, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, all right? So that's my video. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Whatever the case may be, drop it in the comments section down below. And until next time, this is Dave from the 80s, and you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys have a fantastic day.